Software engineering has developed a very strange culture over the last few years. Somewhere along the way, building software stopped being enough. Now every developer seems to be chasing the latest trend, productivity hack, or buzzword. Some of these trends start with good intentions, but once the internet gets involved, things can get a little ridiculous. Oh, and quickly before we start, we're at 90K subs right now, just 10K away from the silver play button. So please hit that subscribe button so we can get there together, fellow codeheads. All right, let's go. Let's start with LinkedIn hustle flex culture. If you've spent more than 5 minutes on LinkedIn, you've probably seen posts that read like movie scripts. Somebody will write something like, "Today I failed my 10th interview this month. Instead of giving up, I woke up at 4 a.m., solved 500 LeetCode problems, built 3 startups, learned Kubernetes, and received an offer from a Fortune 500 company before breakfast." Every story somehow ends with a life lesson, a standing ovation, and a promotion. The funny thing is that real software engineering is usually nowhere near that dramatic. Most developers spend their day fixing bugs, reading documentation, attending meetings, and trying to understand code that was written 2 years ago by someone who no longer works at the company. That hustle flex culture directly led to the creation of resume-driven development, or RDD. This is when technical decisions are made primarily to look impressive on a resume rather than to solve an actual problem. Imagine a small application that could easily run on a single server. A normal person might build it using a simple and maintainable stack, but someone infected with resume-driven development looks at that same project and thinks, what if we split this into 12 microservices, add Kubernetes, Redis, Kafka, GraphQL, and deploy it across multiple cloud providers? Suddenly, a simple project becomes a distributed systems research paper. The user doesn't benefit, the business doesn't benefit, but the resume gets a lot longer. And from there, the next logical step is the industry's favorite hobby: rewriting everything in the newest hot programming language. Every few years, a new language becomes popular, and people immediately start acting like every existing code base is ancient technology that belongs in a museum. The language itself is rarely the problem. Most modern languages are perfectly capable tools. The problem is the belief that switching languages will magically solve every issue. You'll see teams look at a stable application that's generating revenue, serving customers, and doing exactly what it's supposed to do, and decide that the best use of the next year and a half is rewriting the entire thing from scratch in Rust.
What?
Of course, rewriting systems often goes hand in hand with over-engineering. This is what happens when developers start preparing for hypothetical problems instead of real ones. Someone asks for a simple contact form, and somehow the solution involves event-driven architecture, multiple abstraction layers, dependency injection frameworks, and enough design patterns to fill the Nile. Engineers love solving problems, which is usually a good thing. The issue is that we sometimes become so excited about future possibilities that we forget to solve today's problem first. There's even a famous principle in software engineering called YAGMI, which stands for "you aren't going to need it." The fact that this principle exists should tell you how common over-engineering has always been. And as if over-engineering isn't bad enough, combined with the new vibe coding epidemic, we got ourselves a devilish child called token maxing. If you're unfamiliar with the term, it's basically the practice of treating AI token consumption like a performance metric. Some devs proudly announce that they've used millions of tokens this month, as if they're reporting quarterly revenue numbers. But that's a bit like a carpenter bragging about how many nails they used rather than showing the house they built. AI is a tool. The goal isn't to maximize usage. The goal is to create something useful. Consuming more tokens doesn't automatically mean producing more value. Sometimes it just means you've become exceptionally good at generating very expensive conversations. The funny thing is that every trend on this list contains a useful idea somewhere underneath it. AI is valuable. Career growth is valuable. Sharing experiences online can be valuable. And probably the most valuable one of all is learning new technologies. And that's where Scrimba, the sponsor of today's video, comes in. They've magically combined the IBE and video into one for truly interactive coding lessons where you can pause the teacher anytime and directly edit their code right inside your browser. No setup, no version mismatch hell, no nothing. Just you breaking things and building real-world projects until they click. Whether you want to be a back-end wizard, a full-stack Chad, or an AI engineer, they've got entire career paths to take you from zero to hireable. Use my link below to save an extra 20% off any pro plan. Happy coding!